Good morning, students. We were reading the chapter, the story. This is Jody's Fawn. The first part we have read, and in the story, we have read a little boy Jody, whose father was bitten by a snake, a poisonous snake, and to cure it, his father killed a doe and uses its heart and liver to draw out the poison. Now, the little boy Jody is worried about the little fawn who's left in the forest. Now, that little fawn is without mother, he is helpless, maybe starving. So, Jody is very worried about him, and he asks his father whether he can go to the jungle and get it from there. And somehow he convinced his father, and later mother also permitted, and Jody goes to jungle with Millville riding on a horse. Now they reached to the forest area. Now in the second part, what happened? They passed the abandoned clearing, the abandoned area, a clear area of forest. Abandoned means where no people go, lonely area. Clearing that area in the jungle, Jody said to Millville, cut to the north, means take the turn to north. It was up there that Pa got bitten by the snake and killed the doe, and I saw the fawn. He tells Millville, from here, let's go to the north. That was the place where that snake bit father, and then father killed the doe, and I saw the fawn there. Suddenly, Jody was unwilling to have Millville with him. Now, suddenly, the thought came to his mind that he should go there alone. He did not want Millville to come with him. And the reason he tells, if the fawn was dead or could not be found, he could not have his disappointment seen. Now, first thing, why he does not want now Millville to come with him, because first condition, if he finds the fawn is dead, he would be very disappointed to see, but he did not want to show his disappointment. So, when he will be alone, he will be very sad and disappointed, but nobody could see his disappointment. And secondly, if the fawn was there alive, the meeting would be so lovely and so secret that he could not endure to share it. Now, luckily, if he finds that fawn alive, so he is feeling so possessive about the fawn that he will be so happy to meet the fawn, and that meeting would be so lovely and secret that he does not want to share it with the others. He want to keep that lovely meeting with the fawn personal, secret to him. So, for these two reasons, he now does not want Millville to go with him. So, he said, it's not far now, but the scrub is very thick for a horse. I can make it on foot. Now, indirectly, he suggests Millville that he should not come with him. Directly, he is not saying you don't come with me, but he says, okay, now it's not much far and it's very dense, bushes are there, a horse cannot move through them. So, I can go alone from here. You can go. I can make it on foot. But I am afraid to leave you, boy. Suppose you got lost or got bitten by the snake too. Now, Millville says, no, I cannot leave you alone. Maybe there are snakes, or maybe you get lost in the jungle. Then I will take care. It might take me a long time to find the fawn. if he is wanted, leave me off right here. So Jody insists, no problem, I will take care of myself. Maybe it takes a long time for me, so how long you will be there? How long you will wait for me? It may take a long time. If he is lost in the jungle, it would take time to find him, so you can just leave me right here. All right, Millville says, all right, but you take it easy now. You know, north here and east, means he is assuring that he knows the direction in the jungle. There and there, Jody tells, yes, I know, means there is east and there is north. That tall pine makes a bearing, means using that tall pine tree as an indicator of direction. Bearing means here indicator, a symbol with which he can guess the direction. So he says, yes, that looking at that tall pine tree, I am sure I know the directions. Okay, so long means see you later. Okay, then Millville said. He waited for the sound of the hoofs to end, then cut to right. So Jody waited for the sound of hoofs. Hoofs means the sound of the feet of horse moving, going away. Till means he just waited that he goes away, and then he turned to the right direction. The scrub was still, without any movement. Only his own crackling of twigs sounded across the silence. There was all silence in the jungle. He could hear only the sound of his steps when he strode on the leaves and the twigs, and they crack. So only those sound he could hear. He wondered for an instant if he had mistaken the direction. For one instant, for one moment, he thought maybe if he had mistaken the direction, he might have forgotten. Then a buzzard rose in front of him. A buzzard is a big bird, carnivorous bird, like a vulture. So it just flew in front of him, flapped into the air. He came into the clearing under the oaks. So he reached to the area which was clear under the oak trees. Buzzards sat in a circle around the carcass of the doe. There he saw many buzzards were sitting around in a circle around the carcass of the doe. Carcass means the dead body of that doe which was killed. They turned their heads on their long scrawny neck and hissed at him. When he reached there, looking at them, those birds tried to scare him off, turning their long necks and hissing at him. They tried to scare the boy. He threw his bow at them and they flew into the adjacent tree. So he just a branch of tree like a bow he was carrying, so he threw that at those birds and those birds flew and sat on the nearby trees. The sand showed large cat prints, but the big cats killed fresh, and they had left the doe to the carrion birds. In the sand, he could see the footprints of big cats, like big cat means tiger or leopard or lion, but he knew big cat killed fresh. They do not usually eat the prey which is already dead. So maybe the cat came there, but as it was already dead, so they left it for these birds. He parted the grass at the place where he had seen the fawn. He cleared the grass at that place where he saw the fawn earlier. It did not seem possible that it was only yesterday. The fawn was not there. He circled the clearing. He took a round over that area. There was no sound, no sign. The buzzards cackled their wings, impatient to return to their business. On the trees, those buzzards, those birds were making noise, cackling, with their wings. They were impatient to come back to their business, means they wanted to come back to eat that dead body. He returned to the spot where the fawn had emerged and dropped on all fours. So, he came back to that place, to that spot where the fawn had emerged. The fawn just came up and dropped on all fours, means sat down on all four legs. Studying the he dropped on the four legs, means the boy Jodi just sat down on his legs as well as his hands. Studying the sand, observing the sand for the small hoof prints. He wanted to observe, to see, to find that maybe there are footprints of that small fawn. The night's rain had washed away all tracks except those of cat and buzzard, but he could not find any footprints because it was rain last night and there were only the tracks, the prints of those buzzards and a big cat. Maybe they came during the day or in the morning, but he could not find any other tracks or footprints. Now, what happened next we will study in the last and third part. Okay, so it's enough for now. Okay, thank you, bye bye.